Hey guys, Priscilla here, your Pampered Chef consultant, always here to help you save some time and money in the kitchen. I am, it's Air Fryer Friday, right? So I am doing a Copycat Chick-fil-a sandwich in my air fryer. And so what I've done is I've pounded out some boneless, skinless chicken thighs to an even thickness and got them in pieces that I'm going to be dredging into a mixture of egg. And I'm using coconut milk. You can use buttermilk, you could use regular milk, whatever you want. But I'm got just part of a recipe, half the recipe pretty much. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in our liquid, and then I'm going to dredge it in a almond flour mixture. Of course, you can use regular flour if that's what you prefer. And that regular flour might be, let me see if I can get this down here. I've mixed some spices, onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, sea salt, some ground black pepper, and I want to go ahead and dredge that in there. And the key thing is what I did first is I marinated this chicken in dill pickle juice. Dill pickles that I have home canned. And I want to just make sure I coat it good. And then we're going to put that on I have a mat, small flexible cutting mat under here just to keep it less messy for our other piece in there. So the key is the pickle juice. That gives the flavor to your Chick-fil-a sandwiches. And I've been to Chick-fil-a just a couple times. I know it's great. It's just a little bit more expensive to do. So if you can make it at home, do it yourself. That's the best way to do it. And you can definitely even fry these in a skillet if you prefer. And you can use chicken thighs, or you can use chicken breasts, whichever you prefer. And you can also make nuggets. You know, make chicken nuggets or chicken tenders if you want. But chicken breast, and I have a couple little pieces here that I'm just going to use those up. They'll just be a couple extra bites for me. Excuse me. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this dredge that too. We'll put that on there. And I'm going to spray this with our kitchen spritzer. And halfway through, I will flip it over and spray the other side. Let's get this out of the way. Move that out of the way too. It was fine earlier. I don't know what's going on with this throat here, but let's go ahead and open this up. Pump that up. Let me see. I don't have this screwed on tight enough. Now I used almond flour versus coconut flour. I've seen some recipes that call for coconut flour, but I just don't like coconut flour so well. It's just too gritty. You know, I want more of I have something on here wrong. Yeah, get this. And then when I can do partway through here, I'll go ahead and, there we go. Now, we're going to spritz this, and we're going to put this in the air fryer for 12 minutes on air fry. And like I said, halfway through, I will go ahead and flip the chicken breasts over, spray the other side, and then air fry for the last few minutes. Now, pounding that chicken, whether it's chicken breast, chicken thighs, to an even thickness, makes it cook evenly too. So we're gonna just make sure we get this spritzed good so I can get that. And like I said, you can definitely fry that in a skillet with oil too if you want. But if you want to do healthier, you can go ahead and try the air fryer. While that starts I'm going to go ahead and hit that. While that starts, I'm going to go ahead and do a potato along with this. Just a wedged potato, and I can put this in, I'll put this in the air fryer right along with the chicken. And I found that when I wedge the potatoes with this veggie wedger, about 10 minutes is all it takes. And I'm just going to go ahead and toss these in the other bowl of the, this is the coating trays and tools, so we're just going to toss that in there. And you can season these with sea salt, whatever you prefer. Try the everything seasoning, everything but the bagel seasoning. I'm going to actually do a little salt and vinegar since I've got the dill pickle in the chicken. I'm just going to do a little bit of salt and vinegar and put these in there too. And these will be, like I said, they take about 10 minutes to make. So that's down to 11. And we'll pull that out. And then I've got a brioche I've got one of my sourdough buns I made, brioche, and I made these specifically to do for hamburgers and stuff. I'm going to just toast that on the cast iron skillet, and that will be my bun for the sandwich. Along with some of my dill pickle, I've got some dill pickle chips that I can, so I'm going to put that on the sandwich as well, with maybe a piece of lettuce. You can season it up any way you want. If you want to make a little spicy mayo, you can do that. I'm not sure what Chick-fil-A carries on theirs, but let's go ahead and I'm going to pause that. I forgot about pausing the time. And I like to get all of the potato part toasted, so I'm going to put these all like skin side down. So the potatoes, flesh of the potatoes toasts. And that's pretty much it for dinner. Like I said, it's super simple, super easy. The longest time to take, marinating that in pickle juice. And I've made this before, but I think when I marinated before, I did marinate it in like a coconut milk apple cider vinegar mixture and tried this, and it was very good as well. But I just did complete straight pickle juice for 30 minutes, 2 hours, overnight, whatever you like, whatever works for you. The key is to flatten those first. The meat tenderizer works great for that. And then cut it in pieces suitable for your sandwiches. Or if you want to do nuggets instead, I would chop them up in 1-inch bites or whatever first, and then marinate. And then you've got an egg with a little bit of milk of your choice. And then flour. I also did arrowroot starch. That's going to help keep it crispy. The arrowroot tapioca starches, they really do help crisp up chicken, especially if you're using something like almond flour. That gives you a crispier texture. So I will post the final picture. I hope that's something that you think you might like. I'll post my recipe as well. I hope that's something that you'll like. Have a great rest of your day. So it's halfway through this cooking time for this chicken. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to get a clean tongs and turn that over. Let's see, find my shorter ones. There we go. I already have the other ones in the dishwasher, so let's go ahead and flip this over. And the parchment paper will help the flour mixture stick to your chicken versus coming off onto your rack. I mean, if you just put it directly on the rack, go ahead and spray your rack as well. Let's go ahead and put that back in there. And actually, let's bring these down. And we're going to move that up. Put these in the bowl. And finish that off. Hey, I thought I'd come back with the rest of the story with what's for dinner. I have my brioche bun I toasted on our cast iron griddle. And what I did is I put that chicken, once that chicken was done, and actually it was done in the 12 minutes. I checked the temperature, it was good. Then I stuck it in, I left it in on the top for another, well, I flipped it over to the other side again, just to get that other side browned a little bit more. So I now have 2 pieces, enough for chicken, two things of chicken, and I've got potatoes. And then we're going to add a couple dill pickles. And let me see, I opened up the jar. Let's see if I did get a fork. Whatever you like. But I tasted the little piece of chicken that was done, the little piece that I had extra on there. I did take a bite of that, and that was perfectly great. It has that dill pickle flavor, just like Chick-fil-A is known for. And so this is a way, if you use the almond flour, you can keep it gluten-free if you need to. Or if you don't, you can just use regular flour too. So there is my chicken sandwich for dinner tonight. How's that look? What are you having? Air fryer makes it nice and simple. The whole cook time itself is 15 minutes at the most. Like I said, even with the taking the time to change your racks and everything, the cook time itself is less than 15 minutes, so you can't beat that. And it's nice and moist and juicy. And very, very good. Have a great night, everybody.